Come manifest your best life with 190 Vision.
Hello, most beautiful, intelligent woman in the entire universe. And don't even start that thing about handsome. Okay, just stop it. You just want to copy me. It doesn't work that way.
Okay.
Aha! See, you're speechless now. You're like Michael Jackson. They say that when you say something, you should really mean it. And that came up because in many instances, people are so used to saying things that after a while, the things lose their meaning. For example, how many times have you heard people say the word like, I love you too. But do they really mean it is a question. Or it's just something they're just used to saying. Has just become a line or a statement.
Yes, I agree with that. The one that comes to mind for me is when you say, how are you to someone and they reply with, I'm fine or I'm okay. It's like, are you really?
Yeah. Well, so we're getting off the topic a little bit.
Okay.
So our topic today is fueling the physical body or fueling our body. We have 4 bodies, right? The 4 lower bodies.
Mm-hmm.
How do we fuel them? So when I ask you that question, hun, what comes to mind as far as fueling your body? And more than likely, we're going to focus on the physical body, right? More than anything else. So what comes to mind when we hear that?
Food.
Okay. Why food?
Because that's what the physical body usually uses to break down and create energy to be able to do things physically.
Good point. You sound like this really great biologist. Awesome. Talk about intelligent. It's right there. It's showing up right there. So now, yeah, right. People normally think about food, right? And food come in different forms. It could be solid or it could be liquid. And I never thought about food being liquid until I got into the hospital environment where certain patients were being given the IVs, or some individuals are fed through tubes, right? So they puree the food and then pretty much pump it into their system. So that's all nice and good, but the bigger question becomes, so we know it could be solid, it could be liquid. Mm-hmm. But the bigger question becomes, well, what if you want to keep your body healthy? What do you do then?
Well, a lot of people will start changing their eating habits. Maybe eat more fruits and vegetables, or they might start buying organic foods, different things that give them that sense of being healthy.
Okay. So we're talking about organic foods, buying less processed foods, right? Mm-hmm. How about maybe they cook more home meals? Is that what it's called?
Right. They prepare their food more often than eating out or grabbing something that's already pre-made.
Now, is it possible to still prepare something at home but still use ingredients that are not so good?
Yes, it's highly possible.
So the idea of having home cooked meals. What does home cooked meals mean? Does it mean you cook it at home? Or what does it really mean?
It's basically you make it yourself. You prepare it yourself. Not that you make it, but you prepare it yourself.
So does that mean then, going back to the question I asked earlier, and it's more for my clarification, does that mean then that you could actually wind up using ingredients that are pre-made?
Yes.
Or prepared ahead of time, right?
Yes.
So, for example, I've seen in the stores where they have parboiled rice.
Parboiled.
Oh, boiled. Okay. Parboiled?
Whole other method of cooking.
Is that prepared ahead of time? What does that mean?
That means that it's already been cooked and then it's been dehydrated. So when you warm it up again, it's basically just giving it a little bit of moisture so it comes back to life. It takes half the time of what it normally would to cook.
Wow. Is that healthy? Are the nutrients gone? I would imagine the nutrients are gone from that.
I have no comment on that because I'm not sure.
I like that approach. So now we're talking about individuals that could turn to home cooked meals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or they start buying organic foods, or they become picky about the ingredients that they purchase or they use. For example, like you said, less processed foods, less chemicals, right?
Mm-hmm.
How about individuals that decide to maybe adapt a diet of some kind?
Right. That also could be seen as having a healthier lifestyle or eating healthy. There are many different kinds of diets out there.
You want to maybe name a few? We don't have to go into the little details of each one, but if you could just give what you know of, what makes them different, I guess would be the case. So, do you have some examples for us?
Okay, yes. Diets like there's the keto diet where it's focused more on proteins like meats. You have more of a vegetarian diet where you're focused eating mostly fruits and vegetables. Then you have ones where they count calories, and you're watching your calorie intake of the foods that you're putting into your body. They have diets where it's all juicing. You just juice everything you want to eat. Also, ones where it's more focused on alkaline foods that help to readjust the pH balance of the body. So there are many kinds of diets. I mean, you've even told me in the past about like a potato diet a friend of yours went on where all
right.
ate was potatoes.
Right.
So there are numerous kinds of diets, and what works for one person might not work for another. So I think that's why there are so many.
And then there are also diet programs.
Yes.
Right? Can you give, for example, you mentioned the keto, that's a diet program, correct?
Right. I don't remember who started that. I think Dr. Atkins is the name that comes to mind with that. But then you also have like Jenny Craig, and you have Weight Watchers. There's a Hollywood diet. Dr. Sebi has a diet plan. He's no longer alive, but the diet is still there. There's all kinds of diets.
And then there's the Daniel fast, I guess named after the guy that was locked up with the lions. Right? I think that's how they named it. It was named after him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it entails, but I guess it's fasting. Well, then it's also fasting, right? Different types of fasting.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yes.
So I bring that up because if you notice, people are like, some people say, I don't eat animal products. I don't eat dairy products. Mm-hmm. And they're very happy about that because they feel that they're helping their physical body by doing that. Or, like you said, having the organic products, consuming organic products. Here's a question I have for you, though. How many individuals do you know have been on these diets or have chosen to live this type of lifestyle where they eat organic foods, they're vegetarian, or the other one is pesky something? Like pesky, like they eat fish or something? I think
pescatarian?
There we go. That one, so they just eat fish, I think. I'm not sure what they do, but it has to do with fish, right? It's fish related. But out of all of these, and I've seen folks really stick to these diets. Like, no, this is how I do things, and this is how I'm helping my body. But how many of them are either? And I say this not in a judging manner. I want to make that clear. I say this for us to have this conversation. But how many of these individuals are either overweight or they're having health challenges?
A majority. And to me, one of the challenges that I see is they start off overweight, so they work on changing their fuel intake, as you call it before, right? And then they lose some weight, but then they gain it back and extra.
Right. So, I've seen that happen as well. And I thought to myself, there has to be something else going on here. Everybody's talking about use this product, approach it this way, do it that way. Why doesn't it work? Or why is it not effective for many individuals? I believe it's because the fuel that we're giving our body. Now, what do you think about that statement I just made?
Well, my question then would be, is the fuel we're giving our body, what fuel are you talking about?
Because we just went over a whole bunch of fuels, right?
We did.
All right. Have you ever met someone that's a vegetarian and insists on being vegetarian, or pescatarian, and or all they consume are organic foods, or they do a lot of juicing, or they fast? They've done all that, and yet still, this individual is stressed out a lot, but this individual has to go see the doctor, or they have all these health challenges and they don't know how to get them resolved. Have you met anybody like that?
Yes.
So obviously the answer is not being a vegetarian or eating organic foods or whatever else people do, right? There has to be something else. Well, that's the fuel I'm talking about. I believe that the most important fuel is the fuel of thought. It's the thought that is being fed to your physical body that's causing the issue. How many people actually pay attention to their thought process?
Are you asking me to answer?
Yes. How many people do you think? Just you, just thinking. We're having a conversation.
Me just thinking, I'd say maybe 2 or 3% of people might think or have a consciousness about what they're thinking.
And the other question then becomes, how many people do you think, or percentage of people, pay attention to how their thoughts affect them and their physical body?
Affect them and their physical body? I think that would probably be at least 1% or less. That's just my thinking.
Okay. Probably very aggressive there. So let's say 5%. Just right, 5%.
Okay.
I hope you see where I'm headed with this. That we spend a lot of money and a lot of time on looking outwards for solutions, and we do this with everything. When I say we, I mean pretty much everybody, right? We feel that we can go and buy the solution to any challenge that we're having. We can just run to a doctor. That's why there's so many hospitals, because people believe that they can just go make an appointment and the problem is resolved. And in many cases, the challenge is from the inside. It's what we are creating that's creating the challenge. We always say that energy follows thoughts, right? Thoughts impress upon matter. Well, if we are thinking all these non-beneficial things, we're creating energy that's negative, then that energy is going to impress upon our physical body negative things. So then we get stressed, we get upset, we get frustrated. Next thing you know, it leads to being sick. How often do you think people do that to themselves?
I think it's daily.
Right? So here you are, you're spending all this money on buying Weight Watchers, or spending money on the keto diet or whatever diet it is. You're fasting, and you're wondering why you can't complete a fasting day. More than likely, it's because of the fuel that you're feeding yourself, which is negative thoughts. Just all these negative things that you feel, or things that you visualize, or things that you imagine. You want to give your thoughts on what I just said? It's just me talking out loudly, right? I could be completely wrong about this. I don't think I am, though. But what are your thoughts before we continue?
No, actually, I believe that to be very accurate. You know, pre 190 vision, I would have said, "Oh, that's nonsense. I mean, there are diseases out there. You know, there's no way people can cause these things to happen to themselves." But then now, post 190 vision, where I am here constantly working with individuals and working on myself, I see it. And I'm able to, you know, even recognize in myself, you know, all of a sudden there might be a pain in my toe, like, okay, what was I thinking? What was I doing? And I can actually go back and say, all right, this is what caused it, and then correct the situation now. So, yes, I believe that's an accurate statement that a lot of what our thoughts are, a lot of our experiences from the past, our fears, all these things have built up on one another, and they do affect us physically.
And they affect us more than, or they override any healing as long as we hold on to them, that being a vegetarian or being a pescatarian or eating organic foods or anything else that we're doing can do for us.
Yep.
To watch the full episode of this video, please go to the 190 Vision channel on Roku TV or Amazon Fire. Request help by visiting the 190vision.com website. Click on the Help Me tab and submit the consent form. Join others that are on the path of manifesting their best life through the 190 Vision Facebook group. Learn more about other topics by listening to podcasts on the 190 Vision Spotify channel or by watching videos on the 190 Vision YouTube channel. Help support the 190 Vision community by clicking on the Donate button that is located at the bottom of every page on our website.